Hello and welcome back to your regularly scheduled Let's Shit on the Right Wing show. I will admit, this week I had the idea to not shit on the right wing and instead look at some of the left wing side of Doctor Who, but quite honestly I couldn't find anything to say about most of the ones that I found, so I'm going to do a proper deep dive search into some of the left that are being insane, and that's coming from someone who is left wing. So this week we decided to go right back to shitting onto the right wing, and I think I found someone who I'm going to call interesting, to say the least. This guy is called the Divided Kingdom. Now I'm going to take a second to say why I like that name, because it makes me think the UK is divided, and that's exactly what it is. The United Kingdom is the least united thing you have ever seen. I have said it before. I will say it again. This country is divided. So the Divided Kingdom is a channel name that very much represents the United Kingdom, but just his opinions. Well, let's face it, it probably does. We all know how the Tories have fucked up this country.
Now, Doctor Who. I've spoken about this a couple times recently because it was the 60th anniversary of the show. It's the longest running sci-fi show in history. It's a iconic British TV show, but it's also ran by the BBC, which in modern day is a scam, and it's very woke.
I wonder what this guy's definition of woke is. We will just throw up, again, the same screenshot I've used for countless videos now to just define woke for you. There you go, there it is. But there are still parts of the BBC that are quite anti-trans. It's all mainly in the news sector. It was more prominent a couple of years ago, and I've kind of stayed away from live TV as time has gone by because I cannot be bothered to pay for a TV license. I will pay for what I need when I need it, and then I will stop the payments because I can do that, because I figured out how to block them. But I will pay for it when I need it, so I don't really watch as much on things like iPlayer anymore because I've got DVDs to do that, and I'm currently waiting on my 60th anniversary DVDs, so everything like my What Went Right video, that's all coming from notes I made previously, and then going back and watching clips on YouTube and then other people's reactions there for clarification. But yeah, I don't understand what the point is.
They want to up the mandatory TV licence fee by £15 next year.
Wait, the fee is mandatory? Have I just admitted to being a fucking criminal? Jokes aside, no, this isn't mandatory. If you go on the gov.uk website, you can see straight away about the TV licenses that you need a TV license to watch live TV or use iPlayer, but you don't need them for on-demand services like All 4. So if you wanted to go watch things like ITV or Channel 4, just watch it late on demand. You only need it for BBC iPlayer in regards to on demand, and then you need it for live TV. So, but then again, who watches live TV these days anyway?
Doctor Who is an iconic British TV show, but it's turned woke. So what has happened is they almost killed the show with 3 series of a lesbian doctor who fell in love with a female companion.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't like Thasmin. The whole Thasmin arc, and I say that in quotations, there was tiny drops in Series 11, ignored for Series 12, picked up towards the end of Series 13, and then fleshed out in 3 specials. 3 episodes to flesh that out, and it doesn't work at all. The first I heard of Thasmin was after the lockdown, when the community started shipping 13 and Yaz. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Doctor Companion relationships. It's why I'm not a fan of Rose, but why I am of Martha. I know that kind of contradicts me, but Martha had a crush on the Doctor. The Doctor didn't reciprocate those feelings. And there's that. I don't care who you sleep with or anything like that. That's not any of my business. But for me, Doctor companion relationships, writing wise, are very predictable. And unless they're done right, which, let's face it, the only one that they did anywhere near right was River, and that even that has its problems, and that was not a good fucking relationship. That has so many problems, but that was the closest thing I'd accept to the Doctor having a proper relationship. Like, Ten and Rose, they were just on the nose, and the Metacrisis Doctor going off with Rose has its own problems in my head, but I've kind of grown to not really care about it because I don't really care about Rose. The whole Thasmin arc just doesn't sit right with me, and it hasn't really. It's aged a little bit now. It still doesn't sit right with me. Like, I've watched the specials on air, and that's it. The only one I've revisited properly is Power of the Doctor, and I revisited the other two during my binge when I was introducing my partner to the show. That's the only times I've seen them. I really can't stand the Thasmin ship. It doesn't make sense in my head. It just doesn't. There was really nothing there for those two. But the Doctor has always not cared about gender or who they kiss or who they date. 9 kissed Jack. I've mentioned this on the channel before. I'll keep mentioning it. 9 kissed Jack. Well, Jack kissed 9, but 9 didn't say anything, and 9 didn't really care. And that was way back in 2005. All of this woke nonsense, and I say that in quotation marks, about the brand new direction the show's going is genuine bullshit. And if you look in the past, if you look to the back, you'll see why. Like, you'll see there's been aspects sprinkled in from 2005 and even earlier than that. The second Doctor tackles sexism in his era. The third Doctor tackles racism. Think back then, they would have been woke concepts. They would have been considered woke and leftist ideology. What you're saying now about woke Doctor Who is exactly what would have been said 55 years ago when Patrick Troughton took the wheel.
And the stories were terrible. One of the enemies, you fight Daleks, Cybermen, aliens. One of the enemies in the recent Female Incarnations TV series was a white man who didn't let Rosa Parks sit on the bus. You went from time and space, saving worlds, galaxies, on a family TV show to say white man bad.
Nope, it's to say racism bad, as I think that's pretty evident as if you look at the setting and the story and how it's written. Believe it or not, how everything was is accurate to that time frame. So Kresko fits in really well there as a villain and in that time zone. I mean, they didn't have to make him so outwardly racist, and yeah, but like the whole point of the story, I really liked Rosa personally. I thought it was beautiful, lovely. The writing could have been better, but you could say that about the majority of Jodies Run. Yaz and Ryan stand out in that story. If I want to go look at Yaz and Ryan's characters, I'll look there because of some of the moments that they share, and it kind of reflects on how times are different. Like, so dropping a handkerchief on the floor and Ryan goes to pick it up just to give it to them, and once he gets a slap round the face because of the colour of his skin. That is accurate for that time frame, and that wasn't even that long ago. Like, you're talking 70 years ago max. That's the age of our grandparents. It wasn't that long ago at all. But to point it out and say that white men bad because wouldn't let Rosa Parks sit on the bus, it's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. Believe it or not, that is historically accurate. Okay, and if you want to talk about historical inaccuracies, all you will go to is Isaac Newton in the 60th anniversary specials being portrayed as an Indian guy. I'm part Indian, I don't care. No, honestly, you don't care. When it comes to the people and what they look like and things like that, why does that matter? Like, and I'm saying this as a criticism to both the left and the right. Why do outward looks and things, why is that such a massive thing in regards to society? You look at someone and in your head you've already made up your mind about them. That's just how society works, and that, I believe, isn't fair, because once your mind is made up, it's made up. For the majority of the population, it's made up. Once you've got an opinion about someone, it's made up. You don't change that. It just annoys me how looks determine people's mindsets on other people. If you look like a wrong 'un, you're automatically a wrong 'un. It just goes back to the old proverb of don't judge a book by its cover. Anybody, anyone can be racist. Black, white, man, woman. But for the historical accuracies, a white man being racist in this story fits.
Way to alienate half of your audience. Britain is a white country, majority white. I'm not saying all white, majority white country. We speak English. If you're going to say straight white man is evil and hates all black women, people who watch that are not going to be like, yeah, alright, yeah, that's really good, I hate myself.
But that's not what the story intended to do at all, and that's exactly not what happened. And by the way, where did sexuality come into it? Where the hell did you get this straight part from? I don't know what Cresco's sexuality is. That's never at all specified. All that's specified about Cresco is that he did time in Stormcage, and he's from the future, and that he's racist. That is all that's said about Cresco. Spreading misinformation that straight white men are the villains about the story is complete bullshit and fear-mongering, which is exactly what I accuse the right of doing.
Now, to save the show from the lesbian doctor who almost killed it, they regenerated the Doctor into a fan favourite, David Tennant, who was the 10th Doctor. Then they brought back an old companion from the 2008 series, which was the most popular in the new incarnation. So what they decided to do with this was, in the first episode, make sure the companion has a black trans daughter.
Honestly, I can't wait to see where it goes with this. I mean, I'm going to assume it's the same drivel that's been spouted from Harry and Gladev and Heel vs Babyface, as well as Future Movie World Zone, other people I have covered on this channel. Links in the description, go check them out. But it's probably going to be the same drivel. I just want to very quickly point out that Donna Noble married Sean Temple at the end of Time. It was very obvious that if they had a child, the child would be mixed race. Right there. Obvious. Thank you. Continuity. Why is continuity suddenly bad to the right wing? Oh, is it because it doesn't fit with their stereotyping?
You know, had a black son who's now a girl. And part of that episode was when the companion, Donna Noble, had her memory wiped at the end of the series in 2008. She became a Time Lord absorbing this energy, you know, alien energy. And she started malfunctioning. Her brain was going to burn and she would die. And she was going binary, binary, binary. So if she ever remembered the Doctor, she would burn and die. So what happens is they bring back David Tennant. He bumps right into her without explanation. Some fluffy alien comes down from the sky. And he has to reignite the memory so that they can shut down the spaceship of this alien about to blow up Earth. But just as you think Donna's dead, don't worry. Because while she's saying binary, binary, we're going to do a flashback sequence to the trans daughter. It's saying non-binary, 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 gets magical energy, saves the day.
So, I completely forgot that comment happened in the Star Beast, which is why it wasn't included in my What Went Right video. Link to that in the description. So, I'm going to talk about it here. Me and my partner, we both agreed that it doesn't work. My partner's non-binary and they didn't like it. Simply for the fact that being non-binary was being used as a plot point instead of just being there. And that whole part, the flashback didn't need to happen as well. Just kind of here, that pointless drivel of exposition also didn't need to happen there, because I thought everything was kind of self-explanatory. You could have just said the Metacrisis gene had passed down. The rest of that didn't really need to be there. It did kind of feel forced. That's my kind of what went right stuff. All of that, push that to the side. We're doing Wild Blue Yonder next. Come check it out.
And when he's saying, you two are going to burn and die, you have too much energy in you. They go, don't worry, we're women. We can let things go.
Let it go, let it go.
You should have still been your woman version. And they just let it go and it disappears.
Let it go.
The second one was, is clones of themselves to escape a spaceship. Nothing woke in there, apart from they made the Doctor gay and Isaac Newton black.
Hang on. What did I say earlier? If you want to talk about historical inaccuracies, all you will go to is Isaac Newton in the 60th anniversary specials being portrayed as an Indian guy. It's just funny to me how in one moment he can complain about something being historically accurate, just to go and complain about something being historically inaccurate in the space of a few minutes. It's funny.
It's not necessary. This is an alien saving the planet. You always kill the show by forcing politics through a female lesbian character. You're now going to take the best version of the character and just randomly make him gay in a sentence, because why not?
I think people like him just ignore the existence of bisexuals and pansexuals and omnis and anything under the bi flag. But I don't think this has been said often enough, that the Doctor's sexuality is never outwardly said. Like, you've got videos saying the Doctor's asexual. Like, if you look on YouTube, search Doctor Who asexuality, you've got the Doctor being asexual for however many minutes straight, the Doctor's sexuality is never, ever said. So it can literally be anything. You don't have to assume that he's a straight, white male. Like, the Doctor can be a different gender, the Doctor can be a different race. Like, we are very aware that people can be blue in the Doctor Who universe. There's bluish people in... They're most prominent in Capaldi's final season. And I think it kind of hints to that when Donna asks both Ncuti and Ten after the bi-generation if they come in a range of colours, which they both respond to yes.
This is not going to save the show. It's gonna turn people off, opposed to be like, the Doctor's gay now, let's watch it. They're not gonna do that. I don't know what they're trying, but it's not working. And Isaac Newton's black, because why not? Apple falls from the tree, brown skin, why not? You know, F history.
Says the guy that shat on racism in a story set in the 50s dealing about racism.
Now, the third episode, I watched parts of it because I saw the main sequence was he gets shot and killed by Neil Patrick Harris. And instead of regenerating into a gay black man, he bi-generates. Bi-generates. Meaning a gay black man gets pulled out of him and they're both there. And as much as I think Ncuti Gat was a good actor, just the script, the writing, they've killed the show. For people like me anyway.
I've already made comments on bi-generation and the whole schmidt on that, but I'm not going to delve any more into it in this video. If you want me to talk more about it, you're just going to have to wait until the What Went Right video before it comes out. Not sure how long that'll be, but I am working on it.
I saw the Christmas trailer, and I'm not interested in seeing Ncuti Gatwa in a kilt and a tank top, dressing dancing about in a nightclub. It's nothing I want to watch. I can't hate on it, I've not seen it, but I don't really want to. Because you bring back the best of the best, make it woke, and then call anyone who doesn't like it a bigot, a homophobe, any other word you can think of.
I think the most appropriate descriptor for me is idiot. Because Doctor Who has always been woke. I've already mentioned it in this video. Go back to the second Doctor, they've tackled sexism. Third Doctor, racism, and it keeps going. It's always there. But I think using woke is the wrong term because Doctor Who is more progressive. It's always been a show about progression. And that's what the political meaning behind Doctor Who is. It's what it always has been. Like, the whole politics side, that whole identity built up during the Second Doctor's era. So for the majority of its lifetime, it has been progressive. And a show about progression. The reason I'm using the word progress instead of woke is because of how the right wing have demonized the term woke into being anything anti-progression. So if anything is slightly progressive, it goes against what the right wing believe. But the right don't understand progression and they're scared of it. Which is why shows like Doctor Who, which are getting more and more progressive to show what modern day is actually like for those minorities, it's why it scares them and why they want to shut it up and boycott it. Because that seems to be the right wing's only main weapon.
And it's a real shame because this show was once great. I grew up with the Ninth Doctor, who they screwed about and he left after one series where it was simple, dark, interesting, captivating,
woke. Did you get that one to the list? You know, because there's a scene where Captain Jack kisses the Doctor. There's a scene where Captain Jack flirts with the Doctor over Mickey. There's a scene where the Doctor makes a sexual innuendo to Rose after Jack has said he will distract Algie the guard in The Doctor Dances. Okay, yeah, I get all of them is about Jack, but that kind of fits in with Jack's character, considering Jack Harkness is a fucking LGBT icon.
Not to mention the farting alien political thriller that we had for 3 episodes of that 12 episodic season.
Wait, there's politics again.
And now out of the 3 60th anniversary specials, 60th anniversary, what TV show has that? Every single one, you've had to make someone LGBT for the hell of it. LGB, do your thing. But why is it forced down your throat in a sci-fi show about saving the universe with a companion from Britain? It doesn't make sense to me. And if you were going to save the show from cancellation after a woke female lesbian almost killed it, why are you then making the fan favourite gay and the next one gay?
Right, what nearly killed the show when Chibnall was in charge was the horrendous writing, the horrendous storylines, and the horrendous creative decisions from the team. For example, the lack of marketing until 2 weeks until a series or episode is due to air. There was no hype built up around them, not because the fans didn't want any, but because the production team just didn't send any out. They just thought it was a better idea to not publicise. It damaged the show so much more. No one except the right wing had a problem with Jodie's Doctor. Jodie Whittaker is a fantastic actor and she is fantastic in the role. She needed better storylines, and that's why I hope she comes back for things like Big Finish, and so writers who are actually decent can give her the credit her Doctor is missing. Because I think in extended media, like Colin Baker, her Doctor will thrive.
But those are my thoughts. What do you think?
You know, that's the most sensible thing you've said all video. I know this is a bit of a long one, and I did not expect to have a half an hour rant and actually in depth going into this guy. But I did it. Who's gonna stop me? I'm going to have to start limiting myself in the comments and things that I make in regards to these guys that I cover on this channel. At time of recording, I've only just uploaded the What Went Right video, so I still don't have the data on how that has done, and quite frankly, I am curious. If you guys do want to see more of the What Went Right series, then let me know, because I do want to do more, and I am going to do some for the 60th anniversary specials and the Christmas special. I am doing it for that. Whether I do more for the Marvels with the notes that I've got ready to go, let's just see how they do. But yeah, that's all from me. Thank you very much, and we will see you in the next one.